And we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm in the process of just moving around the kitchen. You can see I had my tablet going because I've been watching Miss Denise make those delicious make-ahead soups. And oh my goodness, it was such a good time. I just love it. And I'm going to make those because I think they might be quite beneficial in my household. Now, today, she didn't tell you what we were making, but we're making something sweet. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and wow, yes, our loves of our lives are going to be, planning things for us. But at the same time, we want to be able to do something nice for them. And so each of us are going to know whatever that special item is. And my love, the big guy, loves chocolate chip cookies. So I found this recipe. I was out there playing around on the internet, went to Pinterest, and oh my goodness, the hot thing are these crumble cookies. And I was wondering, what in the world's a crumble cookie? So I had to do a little diving into that. But these things are huge, and they look very good. So we're going to try them today and see if we can make some, and that ours will look as good as the ones from the store. Now, so here's our recipe. This is what we're going to need. They call for the normal things that you should already have in your pantry. Now, first of all, we're going to start with 3 sticks of softened butter. 3 sticks. Now, these have been softened. And I'm going to hold on to those wrappers because a lot of times I'll freeze my wrappers so I can use them to wipe down a cake pan that I might be baking something in, or if I'm fixing some cornbread, I can use one of these to wipe down my cast iron and for whatever it is that I'm baking. So anyway, I hold on to these. These are valuable. Put them in a nice freezer Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer, and they're ready to go. Now, let me wipe my hands off. We've got our butter. We're going to cream our butter and sugar. So we need, and I got my recipe here, we need, let's see, 2 large eggs. I've got them here. We're going to crack them over on the side because I hate getting eggshells in my bowl, my mixing bowl. So always crack your egg off to the side, not over your bowl, because that is just a surefire way to get eggshells into your mix that you're making. All right, so we've got 2 eggs. They came out great. We have 3 sticks of butter that's already in there. We're going to add our sugar. Now we need, the recipe says we need a 3/4 cup of regular granulated sugar. That's the white stuff. And I'm going to use my little 1/4 cup measure. Now this has a pre-designed cup that came with the container, but I'm going to stay with this, and this is a 1/4. So let me bring it closer because I don't want sugar everywhere. We're going to add 3 of these. So that's 1. There's our 2. There's our 3. We got our 3/4 cups of white sugar. And we're going to add in 1.5 cups of brown sugar. Got my little bear in there. You don't have one of these little bears. Oh my goodness, they are so nice. These little bears you soak in water, and then you place it into your brown sugar, and it keeps your brown sugar nice and soft. So let's see, we need 1.5. So we've got I'm gonna have to count it from here. So we've got, and we have to pack it. So this is 1/4. This is 1/2. And we're gonna need 4. There's our 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've got 1½ cups of brown sugar. Now, you know, in the regular Nestle House Toll House cookies, you're adding an equal amount of white sugar and brown sugar. But with this particular recipe, you're not. So that takes care of our sugars. We've got our butter. We have our eggs. All of that is already in our mix. Here we go. Now, what I'm going to do also is that I'm going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon. Now, this particular package of baking powder, I bought at Christmas, so I know it's fresh. And, you know, that's something you really should check before you start to bake with it, because you want to make sure that it is fresh. And I need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So that's 1 and 2. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. That was 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. All right, we got that. Give everything a little white quick. All right, now we're gonna mix this right here. Gonna use our mixer, so it may be just a little bit noisy. So I hope you all are having a great day. And what are you doing special for your Valentine? And do you have plans? Are you going out to dinner? What are you gonna do? So I saw it the day before, because tomorrow is gonna be all about me. You know, so today is gonna be all about him. So what we're gonna do, what we're doing right now is to cream this really, really well. And you know, the good thing is always take your butter out the night before. And if not, then put it on a saucer, put it on the microwave, and put it into the microwave for about 10 seconds, and just soften it down. But what you don't want to do is to melt it. You want to make sure that it is just softened, not melted, because that's going to change the texture of your cookie, and you don't want that to happen. All right, this is looking pretty good. Now you notice I kicked this up and I turned it up on high. I can do this with just the sugars, the eggs, the butter. I can turn that up on high, and I can mix this as long as I want to. But once I start to add the flour, then our mixing time is going to have to be cut very short. We want it mixed, but we don't want to over mix it, because what happens is that your cookies are going to end up tough, and you don't want tough cookies. All right, so let's come over here, and we're going to the flour. Now, I don't know about you, but my big guy likes his chocolate chip cookies with nuts. And I know everybody can't do nuts. You can decide if you want walnuts, or if you want pecans, or even almonds. You can add. You can mix the types of chips that you have. They don't have to all be chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate. You can certainly add some white chocolate in if you want it. Now I'm using a 1/2 cup, and you notice I forgot I had my little device here. So this is a 1/2. We need 4 1/2 cups of flour. So here's our 1/2 cup, and I'm going to put in a cup a cup. That's 1. And we're going to add in 2. That's 1 cup. That's 1.5 in, and I'm just going to give it a quick spin. And you notice I'm doing it on low. That's just to get everything started. All right, on low. That's it. That's it. That's all the spinning that we're going to do there. All right, so that's 1.5 in, so we have 3 more. And this is a 1/2 cup measure for those of you who may be just tuning in. I'm so glad that you're here in the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. That's a 1/2 cup. And that is another one. That's 2. I kind of have to focus here so I won't get too much. And another 1/2 cup. And that's 3. And we've got a 1/2 cup. And this is 4. All right, so we have our 4.5 cups of flour. All right, let's put that off to the side. Got our all-purpose flour, just in case you were wondering. All right, so let's mix. And this is going to be a somewhat stiff batter. But you do want it to come together. Now I'm going to use our Now, I will have the recipe down in the description box. Now, what I'm noticing about this is that, and I pulled this straight off of Pinterest, is that it is very crumbly, just like they said. But it's supposed to all come together when you are ready to bake. So we'll see. Now I'm noticing, I'm going to put my hand in there for just a minute and see if when we hold this together, if it stays together. And yes, it does. So there we go. All right, looks pretty crumbly at this point. All right, we're going to add our Nestle's chocolate. And we need a 16-ounce pack. And I had a huge one, so one of those Costco packs. So I'm going to add our chocolate in. Or if you happen to have some Ghirardelli, the large chunks, you can certainly use that. And that would make a really good cookie. Let's mix all this together. It's coming together quite nicely. Now, you know, like I said, it's a little drier than what I expected. All right, so we're going to put in, I like nuts in mine. So I'm going to take these and let me got my rolling pin. I'm going to set that off to the side for just a moment because what I want to do, these nuts are just a little large. And so we're going to pop this into our bag and we're going to give this a little beat because we want them smaller. As much as I like nuts, I do not want huge chunks. Now, like I said, if your flour is just a tiny bit dry, and it could be that my flour was dry, a little bit dry, then you could certainly add just a couple of teaspoons of water to just kind of soften it just a little bit. I'm hoping we won't have to do that. All right, so I have the nuts. I have the chocolate chips in our mix. There we go. Got our eggs. Got everything in. So we're going to see what it does. Now, here's the trick. You're going to use a cookie sheet, and you're going to use an ice cream scoop. Now, I'm going to take my ice cream scoop, and you're going to make one scoop, one ball. And you can see this is it's pretty crumbly. And I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to be or not, but this one is. Now, so you're going to put it on your tray just like that. Just like that. It's kind of a mound. Let me get another one. And if you want a really gigantic cookie, what they had done on Pinterest is that they had actually stacked 2 scoops together in order to make that cookie bigger. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to leave it as one because I think this is going to probably spread quite a bit. I'm looking at our other recipe just to check. Okay, that's it. All right, we're good. All right, so we've got our cookie in. And you know what I just realized I forgot was to add the vanilla. Now I'm going to spread these out. I'm only going to put 6 to a pan. And I'm going to add just a splash of vanilla. And that splash is going to be a couple of teaspoons because this is a large batch of cookies. 1, 2-ish. Okay. And give all of this another stir. Just so our vanilla can go through the mix. Now, the vanilla is not going to change the texture at all. Okay, there we go. All right, I've got my scoop, and I noticed that as these cookies sit, it's like the dough comes together, which is really nice. So I feel better because I'm thinking, crumble. And yes, it does. It does crumble. And you just kind of make a little mound in each stack. There's our stack that fell off. Put him back up there. All right, so I've got almost 6. One more. We need one more. Because these are going to be big cookies. All right, so we got our 6 mounds of cookie, and that's exactly what they are. They are mounds of cookies. If you have any little crumbles, just kind of stick them on top because all of this is supposed to melt into one delicious cookie. So just kind of work on those mounds. That tastes good. All right. Rinse my hand. And my oven is preheated on 375. So we have our 6 cookies. I'm going to put them in the oven. They need to bake about 12 to 15 minutes. We'll check them. Just depends on your oven. And because I like to talk, we're going to, I'm going to bring you over where I can talk and I can read and see what's going on and what everybody's talking about. Hello, hello. I see we got Judy on and we got Denise. Hello, hello. And we got Lovely. Hello, Lovely. Happy Valentine's. Yes, chocolate. Now let me just say about the chocolate. You know, that's one thing when we first got married, the big guy would purchase these beautiful boxes of Valentine candy. And I would try to pick out the ones that had nuts or the ones that had caramel inside. And then after that, I was done. I didn't want any more. I'm not a big chocolate candy person unless there's nuts or caramel. And so because of that, eventually I just said, honey, you know, this is kind of a waste unless you're going to buy specifically a particular type of chocolate. And so as much as I love those beautiful boxes and they're so pretty, that is just not me. Give me chocolate chip cookies. Give me a good Snickers. Give me Hershey's with almonds and those kind of things I'm content with and that I love. And so we just stopped the pretty box and we'd go out to dinner and just have a nice dinner. So that was fun. What do you all do for Valentine's typically? Hey, Shirlane, I see you. Hey, I see we've got Sprat with us. That's good. And Denise, yes, Denise, thank you. Thumbs up. And you know, Denise was on earlier, so if you all missed her earlier, you'll definitely want to check out the live that she did today because she made these wonderful make-ahead soups for her pantry, and it was just so much fun. And you know, that's just one of the things I hadn't thought about doing, but I've got all the things, all the ingredients. It's just a matter of taking the time to do it. But anyway, so back to Valentine's Day. What do you do for Valentine's Day? Is it just a time when you and honey watch the movies? Or do you go to the movies? Do you go to a dance? Do you have a special restaurant that you like to go to for Valentine's? Do you like to dress up for Valentine's? Or are you a person who just likes to be comfortable? And tell me what you like. So like I said, today I am preparing cookies for the big guy. And so I thought these cookies look divine. And looking at them on Pinterest, and I thought, oh man, we're going to have to try those and see how they turn out. And they really are the crumble that they talk about. And so we're going to have to play around with that. But, you know, one of the things that I also want to talk about today is our plan. And, you know, we've been big with planning. And Mr. Denise and I have been talking about planning and trying to have a good meal plan. And just really, more or less, trying to jot down those things that we want to do, that we want to be intentional about as we go throughout the week. And so one of those things is, of course, because as a homemaker, typically the homemaker is also responsible for the meal time. And I focus on the meal time of dealing with the home cook. And it's so much fun to be in the kitchen because this is the place where eventually when things start smelling good, everybody's gonna be in your kitchen, including hubby. And he's gonna come through, he's gonna check out what it is that you're making. And this week, it was so funny because I made this beautiful bowl of country loaf bread. And he said, this is the best bread you've ever made. And the texture was perfect. And I was so excited that he liked it. It's kind of like, oh, he liked it. And so, he liked it anyway, and he'll eat it anyway. But for him to say that really meant a lot. And so as we start to do those kind of things, we kind of gear our meal plans very often to our family and not so much to us. Isn't it funny? We do the cooking, but we're kind of gearing it to the people who are in our family that we love. And so, that's something that when we're thinking about Valentine's Day, sometimes you may want to just stay home and fix your honey the best drop dead meal that you want. And so I'm looking here. Let's see, Miss Denise said that she makes her hubby shrimp and grits for breakfast, and then he takes her to dinner. I like that. I like that. But see, that's tit for tat. So I got you. I got you. And Judy says that they're having steaks on the grill because of the weather and sickness that's around. That's certainly something to take into consideration for all of us because, there is a lot going around. A lot of people are coughing and sneezing. Some people are good about how they handle a cough or a sneeze. Some people not so much. And if you watched our Miss Denise's Homemaking with Purpose last night, you know that we were out of power most of the day. In fact, all day. And so we went out to breakfast, and I was just observing, looking around because most of the people in the restaurant were in the same fix we were in. They had no power, and they had their children because kids were out of school because of the weather. And it was interesting to see how the coughs and the sneezes were handled. And I thought, that makes you very uncomfortable. And when you're a woman of a certain age, because you're thinking, the last thing I need is to get sick with the flu or some kind of bug or whatever it may be that's going around. And there's certainly a lot of that going around. So think about that as you're making plans. But, Ronnie was saying last night we were talking about some homemade remedies that you can make and things that just make you feel better overall. And Ronnie is sharing with, she said after last night that this morning she fixed herself a warm lemonade with honey. Ooh, that sounds delicious, Ronnie. And right now that is such a good beverage to have because it's so cleansing and it just makes your whole body feel better and really helps to just rid your body of a lot of mucus that may be in your body as well. So that's a good thing. Now, guys, I'm going to go over here and we're going to check out and see what's going on over at the stove. Let me get you back to where you were. And let me see, because I smell them. I don't want them to burn on the bottom. They look pretty dark. Let me see. All right, let's get what did I do with him? There we go. See what they look like on the bottom. Oh yeah, they're pretty on the bottom. Okay, and they are crumbly, just like their claim to fame is. Now, this is what the lady did. Let me see if I can move you back in, and let me put it down first, because this is pretty warm. Move some things out of the way, because she took she let them sit for just a few moments. And then she took a bowl that was just a little bit bigger than her cookie. And looking at the size, trying to measure, this one's too big. This one's too large. Okay, I think this one will work. And what she did was that she set it over it and she gave it a little scoot around. Can you see that? And then she lifted it up. And let's see if we can, I think it needs to be smaller. Try another bowl. Aha. Okay. All right, and she gave it a little squat, a little tap. And it has this crumbly texture. And it gives you a press. And I really like the other one, to be honest with you, because I think it's lower. Okay. It needs to spread out just a little bit, but you'll notice all the little texture. It's kind of like almost like a volcano. I know that sounds funny, but okay. Now I'm going to give it a little tap, a little press. There it is. There it is. Oh, turn this off. I think what you're doing when you work with it is that you're trying to encourage a little more crumbling. And you give it a press. So as they cool, they'll cool together, but it's going to have this nice crumbly texture. So all right, we're going to let this sit for just a few. Have my rack. Let them sit on the rack and cool. Notice they do stay together, even though the dough is quite crumbly. Because that's the whole name of the game, Crumbl. Now, there's 4 characteristics of this cookie. Yum. I have a note. Number 1, you've made them fresh. They are soft, and they are. They're chewy. If you make it with the double, they're going to be huge. And you want to have a reason to do it. Our reason is making sure, in my case, that my Valentine has what he likes. And this is it. He'd rather have a good chocolate chip cookie over anything. Well, I'll say anything over a coconut cake. But I usually save the coconut cake for his birthday. So, and that's coming up soon. So he'll have the choice of being able to do that. Now I'm going to put this off to the side. You have been so patient. Now, we're letting this cool. Now I'm going to bring these over so you can see the texture. Now, can you see that crumbled look as you look at those cookies? You know, I'm going to put some shots on our community page, and I think I put some on the thumbnail as well, so that you can see these are very, very good. And actually, these are half the size of the ones that you get at the Crumbl store. Everyone doesn't have Crumbl. I'm not sure where it originated, but the nice thing is that this is fresh. This is out of your pantry freshness. These are things that I keep. I always have chocolate chips, sugar, flour, eggs, but a little vanilla. I did not add additional salt because I had salted butter, and I typically have butter either in the refrigerator or in the freezer. So those are things, your baking soda, your baking powder, all of those are essential to those items that you're going to keep all the time. Now, Miss Denise and I have put together a list of our 20 item must-haves that we like to have in our pantry. And Judy says she thinks she can smell it. Oh, yeah. Actually, these I think that they might make really good ice cream cookies. If you wanted to soften ice cream, get a scoop, put them in the middle and kind of press them a little bit, then you would have a delicious ice cream cookie. And you could even put one of these in a pretty bowl and put a scoop of ice cream on top, and then add a cherry or a little whipped cream, whatever it is that you like and wherever your imagination takes you. But I love, 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 love a good chocolate chip cookie. So I'm going to find the one that, the first cookie is always the one that looks the roughest. I don't care what recipe you use. The first cookie is the one that always looks like he has an issue. And this one, I think because I was trying it out, it's not as pretty as the other ones. But let me tell you, the flavor is delicious. I like that. Now I think what I'm going to do, the rest of the cookie dough, I'm going to roll it, put it into onto some plastic wrap, and put it into a Ziploc bag, make a log, put it into a Ziploc bag, and make my own refrigerated cookies. And then that way, when we say the two of us want a nice cookie for Sunday dessert, I can chop off 2 of these cookies and have them ready to go. And that's what you call make ahead. So we have our make ahead dessert, as well as we've got make ahead Valentine goodies. So I hope you have enjoyed today. Most of you have been so good because you watched Miss Denise, and now you come in, and I appreciate it. You watched me make our Crumbl like chocolate chip cookies and ours is with nuts. This one is with nuts. Do you have to? No, of course not. You can certainly just have the chocolate chips, whatever chocolate chips that you like. You can even add white chocolate into it. Or if you wanted to add some of those little caramel pieces, you could do that as well. And just to tweak the flavor. So enjoy. I hope you have the best Valentine ever, because this is a great time to show the love. And for all home cooks, we're showing the love, and we're doing it right here in our kitchen, one meal at a time. So don't forget to check the community page, because I'll have pictures. Don't forget to check the community page as well, because I have 30 meal plan ideas that you can play around with and decide, and add to and switch around. And you're going to see, you've got a video that's coming up on Saturday that is one that I think you've been waiting for. Many of you have asked for, and I know you're going to have a good time with that. So get the hands floured. Make your own cookies. You don't have to have Keebler. You don't have to have the Oreos. You don't have to have whomever it may be. Make your own cookies for your family. So guys, have a blessed and wonderful day. And I'll see you again in the kitchen on Saturday. Mwah! See you soon.